Ladies and gentlemen, this is day 15 of following Alex Hormozi's advice until I hit 10K MRR. And I wanted to shoot a short video to kind of recap what I've learned, where I'm at, and where I'm going. So, first thing, what have I learned? I think I've learned a lot. Namely, I would say the biggest thing that I've learned is that awareness is the number one most important thing in business. Because if nobody knows that you exist, you can't do anything for anyone. I've never made any effort before to garner awareness for my own business endeavors. I've posted a little bit on LinkedIn, I've done things here and there, but most of my experience in building awareness for businesses has been for other people's businesses and not my own. I started this YouTube channel as a way to journal my attempt to go from one course, one specific career path to another. And it was really just for myself. I was like, sure, I'll just package it in this, day one, day two of following Alex Hormozi's advice sort of wrapper. But really just to look back and learn from myself, what my mistakes, what I'm learning, et cetera, et cetera. And I had no idea that I'd have a couple hundred people follow me, and from that, garner the interest of business owners who are interested in working with me. So that brings me to number two. The second thing that I think is most interesting, something that it's like I've known these things, but I'm seeing them played out, is people do business with people that they know, like, and trust. And so while I never really have given a display of my experience or my skills on this YouTube channel. Like I've very lightly touched on some things that I'm good at. I haven't really done an incredible like display of any of my skill sets. People have reached out to me because they've gotten to know me. They've started to like me because they're watching my videos, and they've started to trust me because I talk about my values, what I care about, what I'm trying to do, what I'm trying to build. And people are attracted to that sort of thing. And I think in today's day and age, with AI, with just an incredible amount of information online, the the main thing that is separating myself from someone else isn't just what I know, it isn't just the skills that I bring, but it's the person that I am and the person that I'm trying to become and the values that I hold. And people want to do business with people who share the same values. There's less friction, there's more trust, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And so that's the second thing that I've learned is that you need to be known. And the second thing is you should be known for a specific set of values that you are set on living, not values that you create so that your business gets more leads or so that your YouTube channel gets more followers, values that you're living out in your personal life that you can extract from this is the person that I already am and bring it into how can I live out my business expertise and skills in the same with the same being the same person that I already am and actually having a true heart for being the same, not playing a character when you're doing sales or trying to run your business. And so, if you want to run a business where customer experience and genuinely caring about the customer is priority number one, you have to do that in your personal life as well. I think that you can get away for a certain amount of time um, not genuinely caring about people and just chasing the bag, but having that mantra in your business. But personally, you may be financially successful, but I don't think that you'll be successful in the ways that are really important. Um, and being financially successful is not, I would not say, is my litmus test for success, but rather living a life that is full and uh, filled with love and caring for others and growing to be more and more like Jesus is success to me. Um, and so then maybe that's a third thing is that I've been learning more is that you need to know what type of person you want to become. For me, my faith has made this exceedingly easy to quote unquote figure out because it's prescribed to me in Scripture. I believe that when I professed faith in Jesus, I inherited an identity from Christ that is who I am. And so I operate from an identity, not to achieve an identity. And so Christianity is different than most religions because we operate on the basis of having been forgiven and being obedient from that forgiveness, not earning that forgiveness. And the same sort of identity piece plays in business as well, where people operate from wanting to be a successful business owner by earning a certain amount of money and say, okay, when I earn this amount, when I have this many employees, when I'm doing this thing, then I know I'm a successful business owner. But if we turn that on its head and we look at, if I look at my faith and identity in that regard and apply that same principle to my business, I can be a successful business owner when I genuinely care about the people that I'm trying to serve. And no matter how many people it is that I serve, I can be successful from day one with one customer, just as successful then as if I have hundreds of thousands of customers, because success ultimately for me means that I'm caring for and loving the person that I am serving and doing it for the glory of God. And so the amount of money I'm making does not dictate the level of success that I would prescribe myself to have. The money is a byproduct, I believe, of following my values and providing excellent service for people, but is not the telos. It's not the end goal. And so, yeah, so those are a couple things I've learned during this process. I think there's gold in people's comments online, even if it's a little sharp or hurtful at first. I think that people who spout off their first thought and just rip what they're thinking into the comments in a way that is not the most helpful is genuinely great feedback. It's an indication that the way that I've framed these videos or the content that I'm posting could be better, especially when I think that they're making a wrong assumption about me. I think that it shows that I can do a better job about presenting myself and the way that I'm going about things, the way that I'm doing things. With the caveat being this was primarily made as a video journal. However, as a lot of people have followed me and are watching my videos, definitely worth considering as the series of this title, as the series is called, leveraging, ironically, the audience that I'm starting to build to serve them and to help business owners who have followed me and have similar values to me improve their businesses with the skills that I have. And so that brings me to the next thing. What is my offer today? And how do I plan on growing the business? So in the beginning of this series and really the first 2 weeks, my offer has been all over the map. Let me start. I think in the beginning I was doing an AI native website where Websites could be transformed from either Wix or Webflow, or WordPress, any website builder. I would transition it into a custom code. So using a framework like AstroJS or Next.js, um, or React or whatever it is as the front end framework, and then hosting it on Rosell. So then hosting can be free for them. So they eliminate their hosting costs, and then they can send an email that triggers a AI agent. Believe that I use Claude to take that email, which is just a plain English email. Hey, can you update our title to say this, or can you replace this image? Takes that, makes the change, sends a link back, and they click on it. Like, looks good. They reply approve, and it gets published live. That was a really fun idea. Um, and I built it in like, I don't know, I think it was like 2 or 3 days. Um, I would say the product is not super polished and is maybe in like a beta stage, but it's not at all what I'm focusing on now. The cool part of building it is that I know that it's possible and the infrastructure is there. I can use it for projects that I have moving forward as like a perk for people that I work with. But in my head, the value proposition was price oriented. So get rid of your subscription cost and then pay to be able to make changes, or don't pay if you don't need to make changes, which is great for people who own businesses that make like no money. But that's not the type of avatar that I want to serve. My skill set, things that I want to do, I want to create a bigger impact and serve more people in more impactful ways, and reducing your website subscription cost is not super impactful. I'm sure there's ways to frame and change that product offering and service in different ways, but I decided to pivot and change to something else. I think I realized that home service businesses, which was the niche that I initially set out to, um, all they care about is leads. That's how those are the services that they need to grow their business, especially when they're under uh, probably like, well, all businesses need more leads, um, especially early on. So that's like the main thing to sell. And I did not want to, it was not interesting to me to create a lead generation business where all I did was optimize their Google My Business page and SEO and then go from there. That's not, it just doesn't sound fun to me. I think it's something that I could do, but acquiring clients in that world, I was like, okay, let me try cold calling for these guys. So I made a cold calling video. Ton of people, like, I think it has 5,000 views now, got a lot of followers from that, I believe. And then all of a sudden I'm a cold calling page and everyone's like, you should cold call and you're cold calling wrong, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Which was great. And, but then I think I made another pivot somewhere else along the line. And then eventually I started having people reach out to me through this page. And again, quick reminder, we are 15 days into this challenge. People have started to reach out to me because of our value alignment. And even though they haven't seen on the channel I haven't displayed or given proof of like my marketing expertise, they're like, I really align with your values. I want to work with you in some capacity. Let's figure this out. And that's really happened in a significant way with two businesses that one I'm sending a proposal to by the end of this week, another one I sent a proposal to today, and I've touched on some of those in these videos. That's really cool. And the type of services that they're looking for are still marketing, I would say like marketing agency oriented in some capacity, but it leverages a couple things that I think are really unique to me. Number one, my obsession with knowing and understanding marketing just in general, understanding business, watching, listening to, implementing things I learned from Alex Hormozi. Number three, I would say I'm pretty analytically minded, so can look at the numbers, understand the numbers, work with spreadsheets, that sort of thing. Um, I am also creative, so having an analytical mind and a creative mind are both things I think are skill sets for me. While I'm not the most analytical and I'm not the most creative, I'm a cool blend of both of those things. Um, and then I'm technically proficient, so I am a software developer in my freelance career, which is like my main source of income right now. And I build full stack software applications, and I make decent money doing that. And so the three things, being analytical, being creative, and being technical, all of a sudden wrap up into a really cool value proposition where I can go into someone's business. Um, I can make sense of everything that's going on in the business from the marketing front. I can simplify and provide a really cool, clear direction for what needs to be done to get from A to B. And I can find better ways of doing things that they're already doing because I have a pretty decent breadth of experience in uh, the marketing that I did before I started my software development career. Um, and so, really, what I've found this channel to be is not so much just like, let me start this business and get to 10K, but a career change for me because I've found that software development it's an interesting space right now, especially with AI. But I think I can be more valuable to people, bringing my taste and experience with all of those factors, all those unique skill sets that I have, and combine them into one. And I think that that is probably the future of what my career is going to look like. I'm sure this will happen for many people, which is you're not solely proficient in one specific thing. Like, I'm not just a software developer. I'm not just a social media guy. I'm not just an SEO guy, but I have to be all of these things. And I'm able to leverage AI to deliver um, a lot of content, a lot of technical ability, a lot of systems in a short amount of time, um, and have the ability to ideate and dream up what that system's going to be and the type of results it can produce. And so that's kind of the direction that I'm going right now. Is I'm going to continue posting these videos, and I want to work with uh, companies really closely, um, probably just a few at a time, to help them figure out their marketing systems and to help their businesses scale. Um, and hopefully, if they're interested, documenting that journey along the way, doing it for one niche and figuring it out, cracking the code for what works best for this niche, and then taking that to other locations, like reaching out to, let's say a home service business niche in Texas and calling up similar home service businesses in Oregon and being like, hey, this is what I did for this business here. Are you interested in, learning about how I did that? And going from there. And hopefully the people that I work with have an incredible experience and have connections and can introduce me to those people. And I see some overlap between that path and what Alex Hormozi did. And so him building Gym Launch and just like literally flying out to gym locations, helping run the ads, sell the memberships, and then doing all of that. And then one day people are calling him, they're like, we really need this. Like, we'll just pay you for A, B, C, D thing. And then he made, I forget, his breakthrough was like, it's like, I just sold 60 grand in one day or 80 grand. He's like, I can't believe it. But it's because he had worked really hard and worked in those businesses to figure out the processes that were required to get the results that he was getting for them. And then he was able to go from providing this really high touch service to a more productized, repeatable service. And so I think in today's day and age, with how rapidly AI is changing the landscape of things, there's a new opportunity to discover how to help businesses generate leads, because buyers are more informed than ever, they're more picky than ever, and they ultimately demand higher trust. And so, how do I help businesses create trust? Just as I've created trust with my followers on this YouTube channel, um, helping business owners, ultimately share who they are online so that it attracts the right customers, the people that they want to work with, and the people who want to work with them. I think that's really kind of going to be the code to crack over the next couple of years, is how to show up online in a way that is true to you and resonates with your customers in a way that doesn't feel inauthentic, which can be really hard to do. And so, really, the only people that I'm interested in working with are people who are aligned with my values, which I've talked about in this video, and are sincere in their desire to really, really, really care for their customer. Because if that posture, that heart posture, doesn't exist in the way that they do business, I think people are too good at sniffing that out, and I won't be able to help business owners in the capacity that I think that I can if they don't actually care. And so that's where I'm at right now, is looking for more businesses to essentially advise on marketing strategy, how to connect with and build trust with their audiences. So this, I think, works particularly well in high touch, or not high touch, high trust sales processes that can take 3 to 6 months, and high ticket businesses where it's a lot of money and it requires a lot of trust. How can we build that so much online from the videos and content that you're putting out that by the time you have a first conversation with them, they've already watched all the videos that you made about how important, about all the things that they need to know before working with you. And so when you're walking them through your sales process, they're like, oh yeah, I already know that. Oh yeah, I already know that. Oh yeah, I already know that. They're saying that in their head, but you still got to walk it through. So anyways, these are the things that I have learned in this process so far. It's kind of my next steps are seeing how these proposals land that I've sent out, and continuing to document for you guys this process of like, man, I want to earn the business that I get with proof. I don't want to fake it till I make it. And some of the people that I'm reaching out to and sending proposals to, they understand that I don't have experience in the niche that they work in, but they see my values and are willing to work with me because of that alignment. And so I don't have to fake it till I make it. I can be honest about, I don't know this about your niche, but I do know this, and we can try this. And that, for every business, it's kind of how things go, is you try one thing, test it, see how it goes. If it works, you keep going. If it doesn't work, you pivot. That's like the name of the content game. Hormozi talks about this all the time. More and more creatives, see what sticks and run with it. So, yeah, I think I've talked longer than I thought I was going to, as I typically do with this channel. But thank you guys so much for subscribing. Thank you for following along. I'm just gonna keep making videos every day and bringing you along for the journey, except for Sundays, because I take Sundays off to rest and to just get ready for the next week. So yeah, I think that's all. Sorry to everyone who subscribed because he thought I was going to be cold calling every day. I still hate cold calling. Maybe there's a day when I do that, but since I'm getting warm inbound leads, I'm not going to. Is that fair? Okay, can you hate me for that? Yeah, and I think the other thing too that I want to touch on is that I don't want anyone to think that I'm trying to get this done in a month. I'm trying to get to 10K in 5 days. If I wanted to absolutely grind it out and build a business that gets to 10K in a month or two, probably doing some really forced, hard outbound strategy would probably be the move. But I financially am in a place where I'm not in a rush, and I think that that will serve me better long term to establish a business on work that I enjoy more and through value that is better, or through by delivering an offer that is more valuable than a business that I can whip up in a week. Um, hopefully that makes sense. Maybe I'll just clip it earlier and end it here. But yeah, trust the process. Keep going. Peace.